Welcome back for the grand finale of Boats.
So many boats.
This is the only video game about boats. I checked on GameFAQs. There are no other video games about boats.
Yeah, what was that graphic? It displayed crashing into lampposts or something?
Oh, see, the thing about that is, this is the final game mode. It's called Escape. As you heard Seymour saying in the last video, this game mode's called Escape. So you might figure, because this is a driving game, we have to drive away from opponents trying to crash into us or something.
Alright, here we go.
And of course it's not that at all.
Of course not. Have you, you've seen top-down arena shooters where enemies come in waves, and you have to kill all the waves of enemies, right?
Uh-huh, and this is in any way like that?
Yeah, you see how it says wave 1 of 3 up there?
Oh. Alright.
So, the escape game mode, we actually have to kill everyone in sight.
Here comes trouble with a capital S.
Everyone. Like, just straight up murder.
Yeah, after we murder everybody, we win. And they come in 3 waves. So, I don't know why it's called Escape.
Because you have to be the last one standing?
I don't think that's what that word means.
Well, you can't escape if if anyone else is around, you know?
But you don't even escape. You sit there and wait for the next wave to appear.
No, you escaped to about 15 feet away.
Hey, that's not very nice.
I have to wonder if there was originally another game mode planned and they just had to settle.
Probably.
This sure is fun.
Like they already had the cutscenes written and recorded, but they just had to settle for this because the other game mode wasn't ready in time.
7, 6,
That was so
5, 4, 3.
But how this works is you just defeat everybody else,
Yow.
and you get a damage fix if you defeat them all before the timer runs out. You only get half a damage fix if the timer runs out before you beat the wave.
Catch me if you can, silly land lubbers.
Like you can see up there it says 50% damage fix.
You're gonna need that, aren't you?
Well, the thing about that is that the escape missions are really easy. It's really easy to beat everyone. I'm not even paying attention. If I were paying attention, it would probably be a lot easier.
Oh, I see.
Just mindlessly ramming into everyone for the escape missions works fine. Hey look, our damage got fixed by 50%.
Sweet.
Oh man, it's jellyfish. It's jellyfish time.
Hype!
I'm not gonna explain this because I feel it's better if I don't.
No, that would absolutely ruin the experience.
Yeah, it's jellyfish time. That's all you need to know about this.
Or maybe just the next lane.
So, Plankton is actually, just kind of hanging on to the steering wheel. We passed him a couple times. He's not even in the seat, he's just holding on to the steering wheel. I don't know who's pressing the pedal.
It's a brick.
It looks like he's sitting on some kind of brick.
That was great, SpongeBob. You're so smart.
So, what would you have called, this game mode?
That's a tough one.
You know what would make this easier, boy Patrick?
What is it, man sponge?
I know what we need. To the Marmalade! I mean, to the Shady Shoals retirement home.
The last time we saw our crime-fighting duo, they were in the clutches of evil.
Evil!
Darn kids. Did you have to say that?
Sorry.
Mermaid Man! Mermaid Man! Can I borrow the invisible boatmobile? Please?
How many times do I have to tell you kids, that boat is for fighting crime, not for crazy joyriding?
We're not joyriding.
No way! I'm trying to get my license.
That boatmobile is not for learning to drive. It's for fighting injustice, for battling ruthless enemies of freedom, for battling evil. Evil? Oh, brother.
I'll give it a wash.
Promise to be careful?
I won't put a scratch on it.
Not a scratch.
Whatever. Bring it home by 4. Early bird dinner.
So, Power Dork was a little bit in disbelief in that last cutscene at the audacity of SpongeBob walking up to Mermaid Man and going, "Hey, can we borrow the invisible boatmobile?"
No, it was the other part just before it where... I'm sorry. Barnacle Boy interacted with the narrator?
I mean...
It's just something caught me off guard.
I hope you're ready. 3, 2.
So anyway, you might wonder what the invisible boatmobile changes about the game. It's invisible-ish, and when it gets hit, it becomes more visible, which is a cute visual effect. It looks a little bit like a glitch, though, but I'm pretty sure it's intentional.
Meanwhile, SpongeBob is over here just being an oathbreaker.
Yeah, we borrowed the invisible boatmobile specifically to smash it. Like I said, I think they recorded the cutscenes before they made this game mode, probably, because this makes no sense.
And
we just...
I'm sorry, but even though you've repaired the damage, I can't help but notice that you've still got parts that are visible.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing about this situation seems particularly well thought out. Mr. Krabs, what are you doing? You doing a wheelie?
Parts is money. Parts is money.
Oh, there we go. Now we're invisible again. It's jellyfish time.
You can't say that.
What, you can't say barnacle head?
Hey now.
Is that not G-rated?
No, absolutely not. Take it back.
I mean, I take it back.
Thank you.
I'll be more careful about that. I didn't know that was a bad word.
Now I noticed that the display of the damage doesn't actually line up with the diagram.
No. You're asking too much.
Yeah.
If SpongeBob's getting A's without my
You're asking way too much. So now that we understand, now that we completely comprehend the escape game mode, I heard that you played SpongeBob's Boating Bash as promised.
Yes, and it was quite the experience.
I heard you even played it on the highest available difficulty.
Yes, and it was pretty manageable.
Yeah, it didn't seem any different at all, actually.
Maybe it was the grippy, slippy tires thing.
It even seemed a little easier because I think the AIs were attacking each other more.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of that.
But you, unlike me, and I'm a professional, so this is embarrassing, but unlike me, you actually went through the trouble of playing with both control methods. So which one would you say is superior?
It's gotta be the side tilt Wii remote. You just waggle it, you know? It's perfect.
Right, but no, seriously.
Oh, nunchuck, no question.
Okay, there we go. Let's not, if anyone on the off chance does ever buy this video game, let's not Let's not make them play with the Wiimote.
I'm sorry.
It's all fun and games. Satirical humor is all fun and games until you make someone play SpongeBob's Boating Bash with the Wiimote. All right, that's where you gotta draw the line.
Yeah, basically, I don't think there's any game where the Wii Remote is a distraction from the control scheme.
Wait, what?
If the game has a nunchuck option, of course it's going to be better, right?
Oh, right. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. But yeah, usually the nunchuck option is better if that's an option. I know that when I was playing Dora Saves the Crystal Kingdom, I wish there was a nunchuck option. Plankton is sitting on something.
A robot?
Yeah, maybe you were right and he is using a robot. I guess I owe you an apology. Anyway, this particular destruction mission we're doing right here, this one took me over an hour of retries.
An hour?
Over an hour, not an hour, over an hour. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Oof.
For this one mission. And I can't even tell you how I won. I can't even, like, I can't give you a strategy for how I won or anything like that. I think it's just luck.
This game is just too gritty and mechanical.
Well, all the other game modes are fine. This one, as you experienced for yourself, is prone to issues, like the parts clipping straight through the ground, I believe, is something that happened to you.
You're right.
I believe when I was watching you play this game, one of the parts clipped straight through the ground, and you just... Yeah, that was pretty much your reaction. You just kind of sat there and laughed at it.
SpongeBob! What is SpongeBob? What is boats?
Well, I think the idea is that that SpongeBob's like a guy named Bob, but he's also a sponge.
Oh, I see. And boats?
I'm not quite sure what boats are. Because I think I've seen boats in real life before, but they usually don't have wheels.
Huh.
And the boat SpongeBob's driving on the loading screen doesn't have wheels either.
Oh no, it's a classical boat.
Them newfangled boats with wheels. Alright, here we go. That one's a hover car. I want the hover car. How do we unlock that?
Yawn. I could win this in my sleep.
So from what you played of SpongeBob's Boating Bash, do you think it's a suitable game for children? Do you think it's too hard for children? Too easy for children?
I think it's exactly perfect for people who are not children anymore.
Wait, what is that? Like me, or...?
Yeah.
I've been practicing.
Okay. It's perfect for people who are not children anymore. Just put that on the back of the case.
People who are ready to confront absurdity.
I mean, that's SpongeBob in general. SpongeBob's an absurdist work.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, that's the idea, is just to see how ridiculous you can get. This is pretty ridiculous. I wonder how the hover car takes locational damage, because it doesn't seem like it's breaking any.
Huh.
I really want the hover car.
Okay, I think I saw the tube bend. Is it still bent?
Yeah, I think I briefly saw it, but I don't know if we can catch up. One of them is driving backwards. Now we're driving backwards.
Hey, give me a chance.
So, did you get around to reading those SpongeBob light novels?
Eat my dust.
so fast.
I'm sorry, it always catches me off guard.
Did you get around to reading those SpongeBob light novels?
Those are words you have to say.
Did you get around to reading those SpongeBob light novels?
No. I've been too loaded up with work.
Okay, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you didn't, because I'm not sure you're ready yet.
When do you think I'll be ready?
You might. I don't know. We might have to do a few more SpongeBob's.
Alright, well, I look forward to doing that.
We might have to get a few more SpongeBob's in first.
That's the way.
You do own some official SpongeBob merchandise, though. You own the SpongeBorb.
Oh, yes.
And I'm gonna put a picture of that in the video.
Yes. Oh.
They're gonna see it. You don't see it because we're recording this live, but they'll see it.
Yes, I know exactly what the picture is gonna be.
But yeah, he owns some official SpongeBob merchandise. He owns the SpongeBorb, and the SpongeBob clock that's no longer with us.
Oh, rip.
The SpongeBob clock was it was menacing, really. Not the kind of thing that should have been released. Not suitable for human consumption.
The ticking haunts my dreams.
Me too, and I only saw it for, what, like a minute? Before its demise. So I heard, where are we right now? Glove World? Yeah, Glove World. So I heard you also played another SpongeBob game. I heard you played, Spider-Man Friend or Foe on the Nintendo Wii.
This is correct.
Oh, if you're wondering why I backed into the pit and didn't die, it's because, if you lose a certain amount of times, Seymour grants you invincibility, so I just lost on purpose until he gave me invincibility.
That's quite the, tactic.
I'm telling you, I missed my call in writing strategy guides. I missed it. Just write that, that's a whole page in the strategy guide right there. Lose on purpose to get invincibility. But I heard you played Spider-Man Friend or Foe on the Nintendo Wii.
Yes, exactly. It is a good game while you're playing it for the first, what, 30, 45 minutes per session?
But yeah, let's if you played an hour at a time and spread it like a month apart for each hour.
Absolutely do not shotgun that game start to finish.
I tried to warn you. I tried.
And I just didn't listen.
Yeah, you didn't believe me. Like, Power Dork will tell you, I definitely tried to. I tried to give a warning. It didn't.
There is just too much good game to accomplish.
It went right in one ear and out the other.
Don't feel bad, I'm just quicker than you.
But yeah, we are both in agreement that it's a good game. It's just there's just the gameplay loop is too much.
And I, meanwhile, am of the opinion, and you may not agree, but the bosses are just woof.
The bosses don't really fit with the rest of the design of the game.
Yeah, they don't respond to any of your conventional tactics.
Because the core gameplay is about doing really fancy stuff without really trying. It's like, you know, it's a really fancy beat 'em up, but for casual players is basically what Friend or Foe is.
Totally agree.
But you can't do any of that fancy stuff on the boss battles. You just have to wait till they're vulnerable and then smash the square button or whatever the Wii version is.
Well, in the first, like, fifth of the game, it's pick up box, throw box.
I mean, that's better than the later bosses.
Yeah.
I remember the Green Goblin boss, you actually have to throw his bombs back at him, but the later bosses, you just wait till they're not hitting you anymore, and then you can hit them.
Yep, that is where I brick-walled.
It's not even that they're hard, really, it's just,
They're a chore.
yeah, they're just a chore. But, they're less a chore if you play the game in moderation, but the gameplay loop is just, like, when you hear people complaining about, certain games being, you beat a bunch of enemies, and you move from one arena to another and beat more enemies, that's what friend or foe is.
Mm-hmm. And friend or foe makes it satisfying, at least.
Yeah, the issue isn't that friend or foe's game mechanics aren't good, or that its game design isn't good, it's just, I think they felt the need to make it way longer than it had to be.
Right. It's padded significantly.
Yeah, it's way too long. The levels are like, what, 17 minutes long each? That's so long.
Oh, sure. Get a reasonably good grade.
And, like, it's 5 hours long in total. 5 hours is way too long for the kind of game design they were going for.
Settle down, friends. Settle down.
Oh my god, they're all bobbing. What is wrong with them?
Come on over.
Look at him
son.
jiggle.
SpongeBob, you have done extremely well in your lessons.
I'm thinking about SpongeBob's face again.
If you were my own boy.
His missing eyelashes.
The way he opens his mouth sometimes.
And he doesn't close it.
Do you think you're ready?
I don't know if I'm ready, Mr. Scales, but I'll do my best.
Fantastic, SpongeBob.
Oh, that sounds grueling.
So, something at least mildly interesting about this destruction challenge is there's a hole. Oh wow, did Patrick get a unique car? Look at that sweet pink thing. I want that.
Oh god, is that pink metal?
Yeah, right there. He just drove backwards. But anyway, there's a pit in this arena, so that's at least one unique thing about this destruction mission, but you would never drive in the pit because there's no benefit to going in or near or around the pit, ever.
Right, you just have to be near everyone else.
Yeah, and they follow you, so you can just lead them wherever you want. Did you see the physics on that part? Did you see that?
You saw the... Oh... Physics.
That... Why did they give the parts physics? I don't understand.
Well, of course you gotta have your bouncing collectibles.
I think it's because they were going for a chaotic party game kind of thing. Yeah, Plankton, I stopped Plankton so we could see him up close. He's definitely riding a robot. So I owe you an apology. Plankton's definitely riding a robot.
Of course.
So you were right. He is driving a robot. They did think of that.
Alright, now, I notice... Nothing. I've got nothing.
You tried. You tried. God, I could not imagine trying to do this commentary by myself. Like, this is just too much. Too much of nothing.
Now, this is where you talk about things you couldn't talk about in other commentaries.
Well, yeah, we just did that with Friend or Foe.
No, this is
like
true.
Like 3 minutes ago. We can talk about other SpongeBob video games like why hasn't there been an open world driving SpongeBob game yet, like a Simpsons hit and run style driving SpongeBob game?
Is the market ready for it?
I mean, the market was ready for Simpsons hit and run. And to me, the only difference between SpongeBob and Simpsons is that one of them airs on Nickelodeon.
Fair point. However, consider the environment after Simpsons Hit and Run.
I guess the landscape of gaming has changed significantly. But it's not like this is a AAA title, and this came out in, like, what, 2009? That was after Grand Theft Auto 4.
You're exactly right.
Now, that's not to say that's a fair comparison, because the same people that buy this aren't choosing between this and Grand Theft Auto 4. That's not a situation anyone has ever been in their life. Ever. But if there's room for this in a post Grand Theft Auto world, then there's certainly room for SpongeBob Hit and Run, I think.
I hope you're ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
So, Recklessness, as I think I already said several times, is my favorite of the game modes.
You know, I did not
It's the one where you smash against people and get points. I think you seem to have the easiest time playing that one also.
That's correct. It's not much to it.
Yeah, but it's fun. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but it's really simple. You just grind against them. This music is disturbing me.
It is very out of place. Have we heard it before?
I don't think this music's been anywhere else in the game. It's very weird, and it's kind of thrown me for a loop. But anyway, the thing about this race is that because it's in a big donut, the AI acts very unpredictably because they do whatever it takes to avoid the hole in the center. And this means sometimes they all bunch up on one side, and sometimes they end up on different corners of the map entirely. And depending which one they do, it can get way more difficult. Like, one time Mr. Krabs got 1,800 points by himself because everybody was bunched up in one corner, and Mr. Krabs just kept wall checking them over and over, just slamming them into the wall.
Okay, I just caught that over the music. Wow.
Just like backing up and ramming into them over and over into the wall, and his multiplier went so high, and there was no way I could catch up. I don't understand where we are right now. Is this Bikini Bottom downtown? Because did they move all the buildings to make room for this?
And where did the music come from?
Like I said, I thought the music was this weird Banjo-Kazooie knockoff music. I thought they originally composed it, but this music is making me question whether this is an original composition or not.
This game's making me question a lot of things.
The developers of this game did develop other racing games, and those games had original compositions, so maybe they just... I don't know, maybe that track just didn't go anywhere, so they just threw it in there?
Huh.
Do you ever wonder about how things like this happen?
Not once.
Okay, life's better that way if you don't.
I don't enjoy being confronted with these realities.
Because I've been I've spent hours upon hours of my life thinking about how SpongeBob's Boating Bash happened, and how we're doing a Let's Play of it right now. I've spent hours thinking about what course of events could have reasonably led to this situation, and I just can't add it up. I mean, I've looked back on the events. I put them together in a timeline, and it all technically makes sense, but it's just not believable in like a... it just doesn't seem real.
No, I get you.
The cause and effect just doesn't seem plausible. I don't think it's plausible that we're doing this right now.
Am I real?
Anyway, about SpongeBob, his boat kind of looks like a bowling ball thing. Plankton's driving a pink boat. We're
Stuck on a fence.
We're having some technical difficulties right now. I don't think this game was for people who think. I think we're in over our. I think we're in over our heads. I think we've gone too far in a few places. I think we're I think we've gone too far. I don't think this game was supposed to be Let's Played. I think we've made some sort of grave mistake.
Okay, so it's only just hitting me that these cars just stop? It's when they get hit?
Yeah, I explained that back in the first video, but that was ages ago. For the impairment game mode, whenever you hit a car, it gets dizzy and stops moving.
What in heaven's name is going on? Someone's trying to teach SpongeBob to drive, and from the looks of it, they're doing as well as can be expected. I can't let this happen. I'll be ruined. Ruined! It's time to go and find out what's going on over there. If that man actually teaches SpongeBob to drive, I'll have to move and start a new driving school. And change my name. Not again. Not this time.
So, Mrs. Puff's voice actor definitely trying the hardest out of the entire voice cast by a wide margin.
Props.
So, I mean, now we're back in that situation where I have to mentally acknowledge that people voice acted this video game. Like, I have to acknowledge this is a real product, again, because we just talked about the voice actors. And
Yeah.
Someone made this loading screen, too, and I don't know... I want to know who. I want to know who did it so I can talk to them and ask them questions about this. Did they animate it in Flash? Did they use Toon Boom? Is it just hand-drawn and they drew it in such a way that it looks like Flash?
Lot of questions.
Oh, I actually have something to say about this race. You see, look at the map on the bottom right. You see that big circle turn down there? Big one? That's a problem if you're using the speedboat, because the speedboat is not shaped appropriately for that, and it doesn't turn well.
No, of course not.
So that's why we're driving in a red version of the invisible boatmobile right now. Oh my god, they didn't even bother to create a unique character model for the invisible boatmobile. We're just driving a red version of it. Anyway, as you saw, some of the characters are driving backwards, and that's because that turn I was talking about, the AI can't seem to manage it, so sometimes they just start driving backwards for no reason.
If it works, it works.
But it doesn't work. They just start... See, he's driving backwards. You just saw him pass us.
You have a point.
the turn is so confusing that the AI can't... One of the characters is actively driving the wrong way. There's another one.
Are you sure it's not you?
I am pretty sure we're driving the right direction because there are arrows pointing where we're going. As you can see, there are arrows. But at least one of the AI cars always ends up driving backwards during this race. And I don't understand how that happens. It's always on this turn right here. They get confused and start driving backwards.
At least that one went smoothly.
Yeah. I forgot this game had a boost mechanic.
For how long?
Excuse me.
Like the last 3 videos.
Well, I'll be SpongeBob. That was fine.
That's not true. I definitely mentioned the boost mechanic in Impairment. What one was that? Velocity? I think that was Velocity. Yeah, okay, we're going to the final exam. The final exam.
Yes, that is exactly what we're at. There's definitely one more exam. One more level and we're done.
Yeah, this last level is just 20 minutes long. That's all. I'm sorry, I meant 10 minutes.
It's still pretty long.
Yeah, this last escape mission is 10 minutes long. It's a real
like
doozy.
30 waves.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect from SpongeBob though? They can't this is a SpongeBob game. They can't do boss battles or anything like that. You know, that's something a lot of licensed games struggle with, is they can't find a suitable big finale because the license they're using doesn't fit with the idea of boss battles, so they always struggle to find a big finale. I've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of exploration that needs to happen in the realm of video game.
And for this game in particular, I think you'd be hard-pressed to make, a boss battle. Because, I mean, look at it.
Yeah, there is nothing about this that screams there's going to be a boss of any sort.
Yeah, this isn't if you told me there was a 1v1 mode, I wouldn't believe you, because why would you do that? They'd have to design unique mechanics specifically for the boss to make it work, and I don't think they would have done that.
Well, they did.
It's jellyfish time.
Yeah, they gave us jellyfish time, but
it was a choice between jellyfish time and a final boss. That was the choice.
No, this is the final boss.
But yeah, they'd have to design completely unique mechanics and put a lot of thought into creating a final boss, and if they did that, then I would again have to acknowledge that real people made this video game. As it stands, I don't have to acknowledge that, but, you know, if for someone to design a final boss, that would mean real people had to actually think about this game when making it, and that would mean this game is real. So, obviously there's no final boss.
What a relief.
Because if there was a final boss, I would have to admit this game was real, and I can't handle that.
Can you imagine that sort of dread?
It's existential. It's existential.
Yes.
That's the word, not existential. Mrs. Puff, please don't laugh like that. You're scaring me.
Oh, now, how did the jellyfish move again?
I'm sorry, what?
They move, right? You can see them moving?
Oh, yes, they move on. You can see on the map they're moving around.
And it's...
They bounce. Yeah, they bounce. You know those DVD menus that when there's not a disc in the DVD player, how there's a logo that just bounces around the screen?
Oh, so
it's like that.
Except for the 3 around the edge of the ring?
I don't know what they're doing. They're being aberrant, and I don't approve. They're aberrations of nature.
SpongeBob, my boy! Well done, well done.
I did it. I did it! I'm a winner! I did it! Oh, this is the best day ever!
Right you are. You come on over here, and let's get you that license to drive. Stand just like that. Very good. Now hold still. Friends, may I have your attention? It is my great honor to present SpongeBob SquarePants, fair citizen of Bikini Bottom, with his very own license to drive.
I would like to thank all of the little people who made this day possible. To Mr. Krabs, I thank you for allowing me to work triple overtime to pay you for the chance to take these lessons. And Patrick, my dear friend. And of course, Mrs. Puff. Where would I be without... Oh, Mrs. Puff, I'm so excited to see you!
SpongeBob, how exciting! May I see your license?
Here you go, Mrs. Puff. I present my license.
Just as I suspected.
My eyes are blue?
No, what I meant was...
But they are blue, see?
Yes, SpongeBob, but what I meant was...
And pretty. Blink, blink.
Yes, very pretty, but this license...
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful! Yes, but I'm afraid it's not real.
Ha ha! You're quite the kidder, Mrs. Puff.
I'm afraid you've been had, SpongeBob.
I trusted you!
You can't catch me! So long, sucker!
But, so, there is a final boss battle, and they designed a lot of very specific, unique mechanics for it. We have infinite boost, for one. Secondly, you see that meter on the right? That meter shows how far away Seymour is from us, and if Seymour gets to the top of the meter, we lose. We have to hit Seymour until his health bar goes down, and that's it.
So there's a chase meter, and you want it to stay low, as well as his health.
Yeah. The only way we can really lose is if he gets too far away. But, what were you saying?
Because this is just a tank, it's indestructible.
Yes, we are currently indestructible, pretty much. We also have infinite boost, as I said previously. In order to slow us down, Seymour has two tricks. His most dangerous trick is that he can fire his engines on full thrust and just blast us backwards. So we don't want to be directly behind him. And his second trick is that he can spontaneously spawn things in the game world. Like, he can just access the game files and spawn random pieces of junk. He doesn't need an animation or anything either. They just kind of drop out of the air.
What's anticipation?
No, that's actually the in-universe explanation, is that Seymour has access to the debug mode. So he's just spawning these objects, and he doesn't need to have telegraphing for his attacks, because he activated the debug mode. And sure, this may be very rude to the player for game design purposes, but I think it's very bold from a narrative standpoint to have a character actually activate the debug mode.
No, you're right.
Like, someone might get frustrated that these parts spawn out of the middle of the air before you can react to them, and that I had to retry this mission so many times because there's no telegraphing for his attacks, but I mostly just appreciated the artistic statement it was trying to make.
Right, it tells us so much about who Seymour Scales is.
Yeah, as a person, he'll do anything it takes to win, you know?
Really, really brave design decision.
This is, But they almost had a good idea for a boss. All jokes aside, they almost had a good idea for a boss battle here. They just, they needed to have some sort of indication that parts were about to be dropped. That's all they really needed, and then this boss would be okay.
Yeah. Like, there was nothing there. Like, not a voice line, nothing.
No, Seymour does have voice lines, but they don't have anything to do with what he's actually doing at all. But, that's it. We're pretty much done now with SpongeBob's Boating Bash. This was a mistake. I don't regret this mistake.
It happened, and it's too late to take it back.
It's too late to take it back. The next game I drag Power Dork on is going to be a game that's actually, that you could believe is real. But after we're done recording this and it's uploaded, I'm going to go back to pretending this game doesn't exist. I'm going to hide the game case under my brother's bed. I'm going to never look at it again. I'm not going to watch my Let's Play of this again. After we're done with this, I'm just going to go back to pretending this game's not real.
Who's SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Hey, SpongeBob! Catch!
I mean, the idea of SpongeBob is just absurd in itself, really. I should probably just not do anything SpongeBob related for the next few years.
You're right. Set your schedules, folks.
Let's play SpongeBob Creature from the Krusty Krab coming in 2050.
Good job.
Good job, we did it. Oh my god, I was gonna record this by myself.
After all that, it was just a scam.
Evil.
I would have pulled it off too if it wasn't for Mrs. Puff's meddling around.
I guess I'm not going to get my license after all.
Who wrote this?
SpongeBob, you can always take classes from Mrs. Puff
We're gonna
again
see in the
next year.
credits.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, Mrs. Puff, how can I ever thank you?
No need to thank me, SpongeBob. Oh, what have I done?
It's the dead smile on Mrs. Puff's face that really sells it. Alright, so here are the credits, Power Dork, so you can see who made this. I'm not seeing a writer. And I think the credits are almost over already. So anyway, I'd like to thank Power Dork because I was originally going to record commentary for this by myself. And, that would have been disastrous.
Far beyond.
I couldn't handle it. So thank you, Power Dork, for your contribution.
I would like to say it's been a pleasure doing this with you, but... Whoa!
Oh, it's over. Okay, I'm stopping recording now.